I am Professor Simon Defendini, and I would like to welcome you again to Module 5. In this video, we will tackle the subject of individual differences and organizational constraints. Management study on diversity within the business context has grown exponentially in the last decades, as suggested by Harrison and Klein in their 2007 paper. They claim that managing individual differences are a challenge, and organizations have to struggle to embrace and handle these hurdles. The difficulties in handling such an issue are explained by a number of theories that predict significantly divergent and frequently conflicting results in the themes such as creativity and team building. The definition of individual differences vary significantly. Hambrick and his colleagues define top management diversity as the difference in team members' characteristics. On the same note, Pelt and his colleagues define demographic diversity as the extent to which a workgroup or organization is heterogeneous in terms of demographic attributes, while Jen and his colleagues describe value diversity in the following terms. Diversity occurs when members of a workgroup disagree about what the group's fundamental tasks, goal, target, or mission should be. Let us attempt to examine few dimensions of individual differences by analyzing the following categories of diversity: personality, gender, general mental ability, and cultural differences. The first, a more obvious type of diversity, is personality itself. In essence, personality is the specific set of facets of consciousness, like achievement, striving, and dutifulness, that may affect escalation of commitment amongst individuals. Achievement-oriented people hate to fail, so they escalate their commitment, hoping to limit failure. Secondly, achievement-driven individuals appear to be more susceptible to hindsight bias, perhaps because they need to justify their actions. Another dimension of individual differences that we will review is gender. There it comes to the sempiternal question of who makes better decisions, men or women. The obvious answer is it depends on the situation. The situation isn't straightforward. Decision-making by men and women is about equal in quality. 20 years of study find women spend much more time than men analyzing before making a decision. This can lead to a more careful consideration of problems and choices. They are more likely to overanalyze problems and exercise rumination in terms of decision-making. It means overthinking problems. In stressful situations, empirical evidence suggests that men become more egocentric and make more risky decisions, while women become more empathetic and their decision-making is more precise. Now let's talk about general mental ability, or GMA. We know people with high levels of GMA can process information faster, solve problems more precisely, and learn quicker. So you might expect them to be less susceptible to fall into common decision mistakes. Nevertheless, GMA appears to help people avoid some bias and errors. However, studies suggest that smart people are just likely to fall victim to anchoring, overconfidence, and escalation of commitment. Because being smart doesn't prevent you of the possibility that you be too confident or emotionally defensive. Next, let's tackle cultural differences. Culture differs in terms of time orientation, the value people place on rationality, the belief in the ability of people to solve problems, and their preference for collective decision making. First, in terms of difference in time orientation, learning these aspects aid people to realize why managers in Egypt make decisions more slowly and cautiously than their US counterparts. Second, while rationality is highly precise and priced in North America, that's not the case elsewhere. A North American manager might decide intuitively, but knows it's critical to appear rational, because rationality is a key Western value. In other countries where rationality is not paramount to other factors, efforts to appear rational are not fundamental in decision making. Third, empirical evidence suggests that some cultures emphasize solving problems, while others focus on accepting situations as they are. Anglo-Saxon countries fall in the first category, while some Asian countries are examples of the second. Because problem-solving managers believe they can and should change situations to their benefit, Western managers might identify a problem long before Asian counterparts would choose to recognize it as a problem. Fourth, decision-making is a collectivistic culture, is more group-oriented than individualistic societies. Some Asian countries deeply value conformity and cooperation. Therefore, before CEO makes an important decision, they collect large amount of information to use in a consensus-forming group choices. But what is the role of organization in shaping individual decision-making? Organizations can restrain decision makers by creating deviations from the rational model. These constraints can take the form of, first, introducing performance evaluation systems. These systems have a significant impact on employees' decision-making processes by establishing standards against which they are evaluated and compensated. Second, designing reward systems that impact employees' preferred decision-making options to maximize personal payback. Thirdly, formal regulations by creating rules and policies which limit the decision-maker's choice of action. Fourth, by requiring system-imposed time constraints. This practice demands strict deadlines which create time pressures, making it difficult to gather the necessary information before making